Bedard is headed to the St. Louis Blues, and here's why. Being the filthiest prospect since McDavid, the NHL isn't just going to send him anywhere. With this being said, in order for the NHL to maximize their business potential from this kid, the destination he goes to needs to have some requirements. First, he needs to go to a Western team. Besides, of course, the offensive juggernauts of the Avalanche and the Edmonton Oilers, the vast majority of top point getters in the NHL this year were from the Eastern Conference, and it wasn't even close. This is a huge reason why the entertainment value in the competition is drastically worse than the Eastern Conference. The top 4 teams in the NHL this year during the regular season were from the Eastern Conference. And with the exception of about 2 or 3 teams in the Eastern Conference, the rest of them have superstar young players that can grow their franchise in the future, which will be huge for the NHL in both marketing and entertainment value, even if their teams aren't the greatest. Which is difficult to say for the Western Conference, as the majority of their young phenom talent is all on top 4 teams in the Western Conference. After that, there are sprinkles of good talent throughout the rest of the teams, but nothing compared to the Eastern Conference. With that being said, they need to send him to a team that plays at around 8 p.m. prime time for Eastern Conference and for Western Conference. They need this because their most entertaining teams in the West, the Knights, the Oilers, and the Avalanche, all play at around 10 p.m. Eastern Time. With most of the money and viewership coming from the Eastern Conference, it's not a great spot for the NHL to have their top 3 Western Conference teams playing at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, whereas the St. Louis Blues play at around 8 p.m., which is a perfect time for both conferences. And after winning a Stanley Cup recently, St. Louis has become a hockey-loving town. So sending Bedard to St. Louis would not just cause a huge draw to hockey in St. Louis, but also to the South in general, which is a huge untapped potential market and viewership area for the NHL, which again, at 8 o'clock is convenient for everyone in the entire country, including Canada. They also need to send Bedard to a place that only needs a franchise superstar to be competitive. What I mean by that is that it needs to have good role players that have already established themselves in the NHL, are young, and have great talent for the future. This is because oftentimes, highly touted prospects are sent to places where they are the only relevant player. This often stunts production, success, and even sometimes potential early on in their careers. St. Louis has a fantastic young core and just missing their superstar franchise center now. Another minor reason why I think he should go to St. Louis is because this would discourage tanking. If Bedard went to a team that seemingly had no chance of getting him, it would keep many franchises honest and competitive no matter who is coming down the prospect pipeline. With that, of course, comes more money, more marketing, and more viewership for the NHL.